Hey guys, how's it going? In a previous video, we have talked about the concept of Redux itself, and in this video, we are going to walk through on how we can start using Redux in our React project. So here, we can create a new React project by running create React app and learn Redux. So we're going to create a learn Redux application. And before you get started, make sure that you have installed create React app, and you can do that by running npm install-g create React app. But if you do, you can go ahead and run create React app and learn Redux, and it will take a while. Alright then, so after the installation is complete, now we can go ahead and cd into our learn Redux, and now we can open up our code editor. And here we have our simple React application. So here we have a basic files, and we can start to create a new file which called store.js. And this store.js will contain our Redux code. So here in our index.js, now we can import our store.js right here. And then we can open up our terminal and run npm start to run our server. And now we can see our React project. So here we can open up our terminal, and here in our store.js we can maybe just start write console.log. It works like this, and yeah, we can see it works. So cool. Now in our store.js we want to write our Redux code, but first thing first, we need to install the Redux package first. So here in our terminal again, we can install Redux like this using npm, and it will take a while. Alright, so after the installation is finished, now we can go ahead in our store.js, we can import create store from Redux. So create store is a function that we will use to obviously create our store. And here we can create a new variable which calls store, and it will contains our store. And we need to pass our reducer function. And in the previous video, we have talked about reducer, which is actually a function that defines how we can update our data. So here we can pass reducer, and we also want to create our reducer function. So function reducer, and here in our function, we get two parameters, which is our state, which is our data that we store in our store, and actually our action. And here in our reducer function, we always want to return our state. So here we can say return state, and whenever we create our store for the first time, our store has no data on it. So here we can provide our initial value by adding a default value of our state. So here we can say 0. So our default value of our state is 0. Cool. So here we also want to export default our store so that we can use our store inside our components. Cool. So here we also want to subscribe into our store so that we can listen to every changes inside our store. So here we can say store.subscribe, and it will take a function, and this function will trigger whenever our state has changed. So here we can say console.log and state has changed like this. Changed. Cool. So here we also want to console log our state. So here we can say store.getState. Alright then, so we have a store that doesn't do anything, and if we go to our console we can see nothing. Cool. So here the only way to update our store data is by using the dispatch method. And the dispatch method is basically a method provided by our store which we can use to update our data. So here we can say store.dispatch, and the dispatch take an action. An action is basically just an object which tell our reducer how we want to update our data. So here we need to provide the type, and the type is usually a string. So here we can say increment like this. So here we tell our reducer that, hey, I want to increment our state. So in our reducer, we can create an if statement. So if action.type is equal to increment like this. We want to update our state by incrementing it. So here we want to return the new state, but here we add 1. So if we go to our browser, and we can see that our state has changed into 1. And we literally can call dispatch anytime we want. So maybe we'll call it 3 times, and here we increment our state 3 times. It's cool. So here, maybe we want to update our data in a different way. So maybe we want to decrement it instead of incrementing it. So here we can say store.dispatch, and instead of incrementing it, we want the type is decrement like this. So in our reducer, we want to check whether if the action.type is equal to decrement like this. We want to return our new state, but now is -1. So if we go to our browser, we can see that we increment it 3 times and we decrement it again 1 time. Cool. So that's basically how Redux works in a nutshell. So this is a very simple Redux implementation. And one thing that you always want to keep in mind when building a reducer is here you can't actually change your state directly. So here you can't just say maybe state is equal to state plus 1. No, you can't do that. Instead, you want to return your new state. So this concept is called immutability, and we will talk about immutability in the next video. So hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching.